What do Bill Gates and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau have in common? They both have a habit of laughing in the least appropriate moments. They were both raised by powerful far-left fathers who initiated them into the global elite. And they both have wives who left them because they are elite pedophiles. Melinda Gates was unequivocal about why she left Bill Gates. According to Melinda, it was Bill's close relationship with the convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Melinda said either he goes or I go, and Bill chose the guy with the private jet and an island full of underage sex slaves. Now we have the case of Trudeau's wife Sophie abandoning the sinking ship before Justin's huge pedophilia scandal blows up in their faces. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content and to support the channel. The link is below this video. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his wife Sophie announced on Instagram last week that they are separating after 18 years of marriage. They remain a close family, and Sophie and the Prime Minister are focused on raising their kids in a safe, loving and collaborative environment. The statement from Trudeau's office said. The family will be together on vacation beginning next week. According to sources in Canada, Sophie is insisting on taking vacations together in order to keep an eye on Justin. She has learned the truth about him and doesn't trust him an inch. Justin celebrated the news in the only way he knows how, by posing for a very revealing photo with a young male at a Barbie screening. It's not parody. Is there a paedophile ring operating at the highest levels in Canadian politics? And is Justin Trudeau, a multi-generational globalist elite, intimately involved? Those with keen memories will remember that Trudeau's entry to politics in 2008 was dogged by a sex scandal from his days as a teacher at Vancouver's elite West Point Grey Academy. And the truth about Trudeau's shameful history is an open secret in Canada's parliament, judging by the reaction when Conservative opposition leader made a not-so-subtle reference to it last month.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I was a high school teacher before getting into politics, and I'm having a little trouble remembering what exactly the job that the Leader of the Opposition had before getting into politics.
Yes, and he left right in the middle of the semester, and I'm having trouble remembering why.
Make no mistake, Trudeau's scandal is about to blow wide open. After this quick break, we'll reveal the bombshell evidence that reveals Trudeau's underage accuser was much younger than mainstream media claimed at the time, in an effort to brush the scandal under the carpet and clear the way for the son of former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau to enter national politics. But first, an important word from our sponsor. The globalist elite have admitted that they want to bankrupt us, and now they're making their move. The government have been given permission to print as much money as they want. The last time they did that, inflation went up 9%. The Biden regime claims that this has saved America's economy, but all they did is ensure the US dollar gets devalued even further. With the BRICS nations working together to create a new global reserve currency, the threats to the US dollar are just getting stronger. The only ones who aren't afraid are those who invested in gold with Noble Gold Investments. Gold is the one asset that has proven to withstand recession, inflation, and just about all economic threats. Noble Gold Investments is here to help if you want to invest in gold. Click the link below this video to secure your wealth now and get a 24-karat quarter-of-an-ounce gold standard coin for free. NobleGoldInvestments.com is the only gold company I trust. Before we get to the allegations, it's worth making a note of a couple of facts. Christopher Charles Ingvaldson, a teacher at West Grey Point Academy who also went to college with Trudeau, was found guilty of child pornography charges after being caught directing an international paedophile ring. This man was Justin Trudeau's best friend at the time. Justin Trudeau and Ingvaldson have been closely linked since their days as roommates at college, and after completing their teaching degrees, they both received job offers from West Point Grey Academy. After becoming Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau encouraged Ingvaldson to run for political office as a member of the Liberal Party. Ingvaldson announced his desire to be Liberal MP candidate in the district of Vancouver Kingsway and developed a social media page announcing his plans to run. However, his arrest and subsequent imprisonment on child porn and paedophilia charges have ended any chance Ingvaldson had of entering politics, even in Trudeau's Liberal Canada. The revelation that Justin Trudeau's close friend is a paedophile has come as no surprise to Canadians who've been watching the Liberal Prime Minister closely, including the opposition leader. So why did Justin Trudeau leave his teaching job halfway through the school term? Spoiler alert, it involves a very young victim. Canadian media is prevented from reporting on the story, and most of the US media is controlled by the three-letter agencies and the globalist elites. So Trudeau's victim's father spoke to the Buffalo Chronicle to reveal that she was much younger at the time of their relationship than was first thought. Some in the public discourse pegged the young girl at 17 years old. According to her father, this is totally inaccurate. She was much, much younger than that, the Canadian businessman told the Chronicle. He was not a party to the $2.25 million mutual non-disclosure non-disparagement agreement that his daughter signed in exchange for her continued silence on October 9th, 2008. The terms of that agreement prevent both the accuser and Trudeau from acknowledging any aspect of that relationship without triggering a 6 to 7 figure liquidated damages clause. That penalty starts at $500,000 and scales up, depending on the magnitude of the breach. Trudeau and the underage girl engaged in a long affair, on and off campus, while Trudeau taught drama and French at West Point Grey Academy. Trudeau was discovered by the girl's father at their family home, which prompted private demands to school administrators that he be removed from his position immediately. There was a small settlement at the time, the girl's father told the Chronicle, but declined to provide details. The relationship was discovered several months after Pierre Trudeau's death. He died on September the 28th and was eulogized by his son on October the 3rd, an event that made the younger Trudeau a rising political star, around whom liberal Canada and the rest of the world would swoon. Some of his very young students were like putty in his hands, his friends say. At the time, the family was told that the school's standard employment agreement included confidentiality terms that would be binding on Trudeau after his departure. As a matter of policy, Grey Point does not comment on personnel matters, especially when they involve the current Prime Minister. Trudeau's friends at the time said that the typically outgoing and flamboyant young man, who loved singing, dancing and dressing in costume, including blackface, was suffering a bout of depression, following his father's death and his brother's death. According to his friends, anything improper was likely a result of Justin's fragile emotional state at the time, not because of any nefarious character traits. He was lonely and depressed for months, one friend told the Chronicle. At the time, Canada's age of consent was 14 years old. In 2008, Prime Minister Stephen Harper had that law changed, raising the age to 16, where the law sits today. Still, Canada outlaws sex between adults and younger people than 18 when the adult is in a position of responsibility for the well-being of that child. Despite the excuses made by his friends, Trudeau's behaviour would have been illegal at the time. Is Trudeau another compromised paedophile, destroying his country from the inside and controlled like a puppet by the global elites? Let's take a look at the recent revelations by Cole Kemper, Justin Trudeau's half-brother, who has revealed that the Canadian Prime Minister doesn't write his own speeches or tweets, but instead performs like a dancing monkey, reading scripts written for him by the globalist overlords. Trudeau is not speaking from his heart, insists his brother, who adds blackmail is a very powerful tool. We've been saying for years that Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum are penetrating governments and corrupting world leaders. Ready for some validation you can share around?
What do you think your brother's reasoning is to be doing this to the Canadian people and tarnishing our cultural ways and who we are as Canadians? What is the drive that is his reasoning for all of this? What do you
right
think?
Well, I mean, I'm going to start by saying, like, Justin is, the leader of the Liberal Party, and everything that's coming out of his mouth right now is written. All of his tweets are being produced by a team. All of his statements, he is the face and the lead spokesperson for the Canadian government, but the policy and the initiatives that are driving it and that are driving his this narrative that he continues to push, which in my opinion is decidedly anti-Canadian and anti-freedom, is coming down from the higher ups, from groups like the World Economic Forum, like the Council on Foreign Relations, like Bilderberg, etc. And they recognize we need to have these strong kind of agents within governments. And I think one of the things we've seen is all around the world we have, I'll be frank, weak leaders. Who are able to act as kind of spokespeople. He is not speaking from his heart. I don't honestly believe there is not candid. There's no discussion. This is why he's afraid to, this is why he's not being allowed to actually engage with the Freedom Convoy and with these people, because there's a lot to unpack here. And there's a lot of serious questions. And, the truth is easily debated, but lies can't be debated. So it's you don't even enter the debate when you were dealing with lies.
Facts.
So and then also when you look at the history of people like Jeffrey Epstein, what their role was, to trap people and blackmail people. And like, you think about a lifetime of opulence and opportunity, like, you're probably you make mistakes or like, you get coerced into doing something bad. And I've heard from, multiple people, like not specific to Justin, but like of situations where, all of a sudden it's like, this girl comes out of nowhere and she's on it, and you're in a special room or a special house, and it's like, come on, like let's do that. Oh, you're married, but they're like pushing and they're trying to make something happen. And this is how, like, when a camera's on, then it's recorded, then you're blackmailed. And so like blackmail is a very powerful tool.
So now you know some real truth about Justin Trudeau, not speculation or theory from afar. The truth and nothing but the truth from those whose children he taught and those closest to him. Justin is a tool of the global elite. He is compromised. He does not, nor has he ever, served Canada. And this should come as no surprise. Klaus Schwab is on the record boasting about how the WEF has penetrated cabinets and governments across the world. And according to Schwab, Canada was the first country to fall under his control. So is there a paedophile ring operating at the highest levels of Canadian politics? Those who've been paying attention say the answer is a definite yes. Let's take a look at the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, named after Justin's supposed father, the former leftist Prime Minister. The foundation claims to support creative and critical thinkers who make meaningful contributions to critical social issues. But according to an FBI document released by WikiLeaks, the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation has a history of employing blatant pedophile symbols in its messaging. A case in point is this image, taken from the 2015-16 annual report of the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation. The use of this symbol, though, seems an odd choice for the foundation given what the FBI document says regarding about its true meaning. The world is waking up to the truth about the globalist elite, and so-called conspiracy theories are being exposed as conspiracy facts at an alarming rate. The elite can't expect to continue hiding in plain sight for much longer. As evidence continues to mount and the mainstream media and fact-checkers continue to circle the wagons and protect Trudeau from legitimate inquiry, we have a favour to ask